In this episode, we're going to reveal the 3 most important findings from iHire's fresh off the press What Candidates Want 2023 report. You'll be amazed at some of the insights we discovered, just like we were.
iHire connects you to industry-specific jobs in over 57 talent communities. Find your niche today on iHire.
We surveyed over 600 candidates in 57 industries. Our first finding confirms what we've always told employers. At every stage of the hiring process, candidates want confirmation that they are still in the game. They want open and honest communication. Almost everyone, 96% of people, expected a confirmation email after submitting an application. And more than 80% wanted a rejection email when they're no longer in the running so they can move on. About 2/3 of candidates expect to hear back in less than a day.
It's been 84 years.
Employers may not realize this, but some candidates will send one application thinking that they are the perfect fit for that job. And they don't understand why the employer wouldn't call them. And so they sit back and wait to hear from the employer. I once coached a candidate who had waited to hear back from an employer for over 3 months. And the worst part of it was that he applied several times for the same position in that 3-month time period because he was so convinced that he was their missing puzzle piece. This is not what you should do as a candidate. Getting a job is a numbers game. So the more applications you submit, the greater chance you have of landing something. One of the things candidates hate the most is ghosting.
You on Tinder?
Not the dating kind of ghosting, the employment kind of ghosting, but they're pretty much the same. You apply for a job or you interview for a job and then crickets. How would that make you feel? Does it make you feel mad or sad or bad? Well, you're not the only one. The survey says that almost 40% of job seekers would avoid a company that ghosted them. They won't buy their stuff, they won't tell their friends to buy their stuff, and they won't consider working for them in the future. Why do employers ghost candidates? I don't know. Maybe they're swamped. Maybe they're disorganized, or maybe they just don't care. But whatever it is, it's not good for them or for you as a candidate. There are a lot of jobs out there, so don't get discouraged. Now, on the other side of things, candidates are just as guilty of ghosting an employer. Only with candidates, it can be a lot worse. I hear stories all of the time from employers about candidates who will ghost on their first day or within their first week, and they just won't show up for work. The bottom line is that ghosting is mean and rude, and it's just not cool. So
don't do it.
Salary is a huge topic too. As a candidate, I want to know how much I can potentially earn. That's why I'm more likely to apply for a job that has the salary information in the ad. In fact, almost 80% of candidates agree with me on this. If I don't see the salary range in the ad, I might think it's too low or not worth my time. That's why almost half of the candidates we surveyed skip those ads altogether. Now, as a candidate, you need to be prepared for the question, what's your salary range? If you don't know a fair salary range for the job, do some market research and see what other companies in your area are paying for similar positions. This is also going to help you negotiate an offer with confidence. Would you believe that only 44% of candidates even try to negotiate an offer? That number should be far higher, and I want you to be in that 44% and know exactly what you're worth. If you need some help with salary research, you can use iHire's salary research tool. It's a really handy tool that lets you compare salaries across different locations and industries.
Give me a number.
The third finding was about remote, hybrid, and in-person work. It turns out that 68% of people prefer to work in person or a hybrid rather than fully remote. That means that they really like hanging out with their coworkers and their bosses.
Work proximity associateships.
But not everyone feels the same way. The survey also shows that different age groups have different work preferences. For example, younger folks ages 18 to 30 years old prefer in person work, while folks 51 and up prefer remote work. I'm in that latter age group, which explains why I thought that everyone would choose remote work if given the chance, because I absolutely love it. But the numbers make sense because people have different wants and needs depending on where they are in life and what they're aiming for. If you're an organization aiming to attract and retain high performers, it would benefit you greatly to take some notes and be sure that you're giving candidates what they want.